Yo, what's up, 8? What's up, Kyle? Kyle almost beat you, 8. He almost beat you. That was close. Welcome in, Shannon. Hope everybody's doing well. Sorry I couldn't get a show in yesterday. I wanted to do a NASCAR show, and my wife said we gotta go pick up a crib, and that was a long way away, so we didn't really get home in time for me to do a show. We got home in time for a show, but I just had no data ready, and it would have took me too long to get it all uh, put in and have a good show. He said, "What's up, Bama?" as I'm wearing the Alabama shirt. What's up, Jay? Hope you're doing well. I absolutely ate with NASCAR this weekend, boys. Anybody that is a premium member, if you played NASCAR, you probably done pretty well. I went 2 for 3 on calling the winners of this weekend's race. Got Truck and Xfinity right. I called Joey Logano winning the Cup race. Obviously didn't happen. Went to Christopher Bell, but it was a good race. What's up, Dwayne? I was also going to have to cut the show a little short today. My son had baseball practice, but his coach texted and said he is sick and not going to be able to have practice tonight, so we're good to go. My daughter's softball practice starts at 7, so we are good to run a whole show, gentlemen. NASCAR kicked your ass. I done great. I done great. I feel like our core's done awesome as well. Last night, I got my ass kicked in NBA because of one player, Cole Anthony. My entire lineup was balling, except for Cole Anthony. Um, what a letdown he was yesterday. Just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Got 8 viewers in here. When we get up to 10, we're going to start it out. Chase Elliott, I thought Chase Elliott owners were just done. I thought they were cooked. But he come back out on the track and he salvaged a little. Like, yeah, you wasn't going to take down with Chase Elliott, but surprisingly, you would have cashed if you had a really good lineup with Chase. That's right, Jay. That's right, Jay. It's coming up too. I can't wait. I actually had tickets to go to the Atlanta race. My brother gave me tickets. I was too busy yesterday. I couldn't go. Yeah, Anthony Black was playing out of his mind yesterday, so Cole was just an afterthought. We got 11 viewers. Let's dive into it, gentlemen. Dive into it. Interesting slate today. Starting off at point guard, SGA. If you want to play him, he's fine. He's 17% owned. He just played Minnesota last night, played 38 minutes, and put up 72 fantasy points. With that being said, he had 3 blocks and 3 steals. SGA is one of the best players in the world, but even I can't project him for 6 stocks. I mean, it's an outlier, right? But he still shot the ball 24 times, grabbed 8 boards, had 8 assists. I mean, he was all over the place last night. I don't mind if you want to roster SGA today. I just don't think he's a necessity. Yeah, Jay, rugs are very, very expensive, my guy. And I think it's so stupid. It's basically a piece of carpet, but yet they charge literally hundreds and even thousands of dollars for these rugs. Cade Cunningham had a monster game yesterday as well. Put up 73 fantasy points against Atlanta, shot the ball 24 times, had 12 assists, and much like SGA, he had a good game as far as stock-wise. He had 3 blocks and 1 steal. I expect him to get at least a block and a steal today, but I'm not so sure he's going to get 4. If you play Cade, he's fine. I'm not going out of my way to get Cade, though. Another one of those players, I'm never going to take him out of my player pool, but he's not a core piece for me today. The matchup against the Clippers, a little bit tougher as well. Tyrese Maxey, he is, last I checked, questionable. Let's see here. We did just get news Killian Hayes is going to remain in the starting lineup. So, I love you, babe. Killian Hayes starting, we'll talk about him in a minute. But Tyrese Maxey, he's questionable. I'm not so sure he plays today. If he does play, the matchup is great. It is a great matchup if Tyrese Maxey plays. We should get the news before lock, though. I have him out of my player pool right now. That's how I'm projecting this team with him out. But if he's in, that'll change things. If he's in, he looks great. So be it. Trae Young going against Miami. I really like Trae today. He's on a 3-game heater. Miami plays good defense. They got a really good defensive efficiency rating, but they're terrible against the guards. Ranking 27th against the guards, you can see here on LineStar. I think Trae gets a little bit overlooked today. He's only pulling 5% ownership right now. I got mine set to double that. I want 10% of Trae. I might even move that up a little bit. Miami plays slow. They play good defense. They're just bad against the guard position, so sign me up for some Trae. James Harden. Love James today. Pretty much the entire industry does. You're going to want your fair share of James Harden. I have my exposure set at 50%. The public's at 36%. But it's just a home run spot because of usage. There's going to be no Norm Powell. There's going to be no Kawhi Leonard. It's really going to be James Harden, Zubac, and Chris Dunn, in my opinion. What's LineStar got their starting lineup looking like? Yeah, they got Dunn, Coffee, Jones. That's what I thought as well. But Coffee and Jones pretty much take 0 usage away from Harden. Really love Harden. He's going to have to do everything today. Detroit, they're kind of tough against the guards, ranking 12th. But, Trae Young just put 56 on him yesterday. And as far as skill level goes, Harden and Young are comparable. So, really like James. LaMelo Ball, what happened to him? 12% owned. I want to be under that. I got it set at 30 right now. I'm going to lower that all the way to 10. Do not like LaMelo today, and you guys know I'm a LaMelo fan. I am a LaMelo fan, and I am not on him today. He's just been so inconsistent. Now, he has missed a lot of time, but he has not met or exceeded value since January 12th. We're going on almost 2 months since LaMelo has met value. I am fading that hard. What's up, Don? Tyrese Halliburton, never a player I'm excited to see in my lineups just because of how he's played this year. He's been super streaky and inconsistent. He's pulling 16% ownership, going against Denver. I got my exposure set at 8%. Want to cut that in half. But with that said, past 2 games, he's played well. He has played well. Averaging 1.30 fantasy points per minute. Played 32 and 30 minutes the last 2 games. I don't mind getting to some Tyrese Halliburton. I just don't like that he's 16% owned. Here's a guy I really like today, Tyler Hero. He's taking on Atlanta. We know they play fast and they play bad defense. He's 10% owned. Over his last 3 games, he's done pretty well, dropping 60, 42, and 63 fantasy points. Last game out, he shot the ball 27 times. 27 times. I think if Atlanta's going to let him shoot the ball 25 plus times, I want him to be in my lineup. I like Tyler Hero quite a bit today. Jamal Murray, he's fine. The Pacers, they play fast. They play bad defense. Jamal Murray's really stepped it up over his last 5 games. 1.30 fantasy points per minute. My only issue with Murray is I just like Tyler Hero more, and he's $100 more. So most of my lineups, I'm going to be able to just get Hero. But if you land on Murray, I like him today. He is pulling more ownership than Hero at 13%, so it's not a lot more. But I prefer Hero, but Murray is still a very solid play. Dyson Daniels, I think he's priced where he should be. He's pulling no ownership at 5% owned, but he's just priced where he should be. He did exceed value last game out against Detroit. 4 steals and a block. You know that's his game, though. He is a defensive specialist. Don't mind if he falls in my lineups. Malik Monk, I have pretty much no interest in. The only Sacramento King I have interest in today really is Sabonis. There's just too many ball-dominant guys on this team, and it's a dice roll which one of the 4 are going to take over that game. Most of the time it's Sabonis, but Levine, DeRozan, and Monk all have their games as well. Over Monk's last 5, though, 0.89 fantasy points per minute, I would just feel much safer playing Sabonis if I'm playing a King today. Jordan Poole, not really there against Brooklyn. Brooklyn's a bad team, but they're pretty good against the point guard ranking 3rd. Poole's only pulling 5% owned, and I see why. Poole's gonna randomly pop off every now and then, but most of the time he's just gonna barely fall below value. That's just how he plays. Another guy I really like today, I hope Kobe White sets, Josh Giddey. He's only pulling 13% ownership today, taking on Philly, possibly no Maxey on Philly. So this game could look more competitive if Maxey were to set. It's only got a 4.5 point spread right now, which leads me to believe Maxey is going to set. I think it should be larger than that. But Giddey's last 2 games, 54 and 61 fantasy points. He's got 18 field goal attempts and 14 field goal attempts. I want to see him shooting 15 plus times in this game, but his peripherals have been great. 16 rebounds and 8. 4 assists and 10. A block, 1 steal, 3 steals. So he's all over the court. He's doing everything. You guys know if you watch my show, those are the kind of guys I like rostering. I love Jalen Green. He's a great player, but I would much rather get a guy like Josh Giddey in my lineup that does more than just shoot. He's all over the court. He can get you points with rebounds, assists, whatever. Jalen Green, more of just a shooter. When he's on, he's on. But if he's not knocking down buckets, you're probably not getting fantasy points. Simons, I think he's fine today. Going against this skeleton Utah Jazz team that they're going to roll out today. I just like others in his price range, to be honest, more than Simons. He's only pulling 4% ownership, so if you're looking for a get different play with upside, I think he is that guy. Kobe White, he's questionable. Looks like it's been upgraded to probable. Last I read is questionable. But even if Kobe White plays, I don't have a lot of interest. Over his last 5 games, he's averaging 0.80 fantasy points per minute. That's just not enough for me. He's playing monster minutes too. So that's a positive, but I just can't get to Kobe White at this price when for $400 cheaper I can play Keontae George. Now Keontae is going to be chalk today, 34% owned, but this is a skeleton crew team that Utah's rolling out today, and I think Keontae George will be their best player on the court. Really like him today. 1.07 fantasy points per minute over his last 5. Should have to play huge minutes in this game and soak up a tremendous amount of usage. He should have to do it all for this team. Kim Thomas, D'Lo out. Russell Westbrook I have no interest in today. He's pulling 4% owned, but since the All-Star break he's played 26 and 24 minutes and has done nothing with those minutes. Just fading him till I can see him get back into his rhythm. Isaiah Collier, absolutely fine. If you don't want to play Keontae George or you can't afford Keontae George, Isaiah Collier is a wonderful replacement. Taking on the same Portland team. Now, Portland does rank very well against guards, but as I said, this team just has nobody today. You get Collier at a huge ownership discount as well. George, 34% owned, where Isaiah Collier is only 11% owned. Sexton, Ayo, Ben Simmons, they're all listed out. Andrew Nembhard, I don't have a lot of interest in at all. Only got him 2% owned right now. Scoot Henderson, I'm not there, but I don't mind him as a punt in some big GPPs. No interest in Bud Carrington. Lonzo Ball, only a punt and a big GPP. I love Chris Dunn today. Love him. When I first started doing my research for today, he was severely unowned. It has popped up to 24% though. Chris Dunn should start today. He should easily be the number 3 guy on this team behind Harden and Zubac. Sign me up for Chris Dunn at $4,800 today. Easy value piece. Cason Wallace, I'm not interested in at all. Mike Conley, I'm only playing Mike Conley in 150 maxes. Same goes for Keon Ellis. No interest in Ball. No interest in Schroeder. No interest in Jared Butler. Unless Tyrese Maxey sets and Jared Butler starts for him. Then Jared Butler becomes intriguing. I don't like the $4,400 price tag, even if he starts. So I will be under the field on Jared Butler if he is starting, but I'm still going to have a couple shares of him. Marjon Beauchamp Day. I haven't heard that name in quite a while. I'm not projecting him too well. I didn't even like him when he was on the Bucks. No interest in Elfrid Payton. Alec Burks, no interest. Marcus Smart, no interest. KJ Simpson, no interest. Davion Mitchell, definitely playable in a 150 max. Benton, no interest. Killian Hayes, he is starting. We got word on that. Started last game, played 27 minutes, dropped 18 fantasy points. Really let you down if you played him like I did. I don't mind running it back, but I would be cautious with ownership. Like, I have my max set right here to 10%. 10%. That's all I want of him. And really, that's all I have for guards. Nobody else is intriguing me. The only way I play Beauchamp is if he starts, and that's probably 150 max would be about it for me. Got a lot more notifications here. What we got? Tyler Hero available to play, and Khalil Ware is available to play. I need to put Khalil Ware back in my player pool because I had taken him out. I did not think he would play. We got something else right as I put my phone down. No, we didn't. That was the VA messaging me. Anthony Edwards. I'm not there. He is pulling 19% ownership right now, according to LineStar. He played this exact team yesterday, dropped 53 fantasy points, played 39 minutes. Now, I will say, he shot terribly. 8 for 21. So if he gets his shot straightened out, he will be fine. I don't mind Anthony Edwards. The way I'm building today, he's not fitting into my lineups. Over his last 5, he's averaging 1.29 fantasy points per minute. I just hate playing anyone against Oklahoma City, really. They play such good defense. Yep, nobody plays. I think it's dependent on if Tyrese Maxey plays or not. Because I think Jared Butler picks up a lot of ownership then. A lot of ownership that was on Killian that's going to pivot off. But I don't think Killian's going to be chalked by any means today. Talked about Halliburton. Talked about a lot of these guys already, actually. All the way down to Zach LaVine. You guys know how I am with the Kings. Sabonis is really the only one I want. LaVine, since he's joined the Kings, has exceeded his salary 1 game. And over his last 5, he's a .91 fantasy point per minute player. And that's just not enough for me at this price. So I'm going to be fading Zach LaVine today. I got it set to have 5% of him, but I'm playing 300 plus lines, so 5% is really nothing. Talked about Simons. Kelly Oubre definitely comes into play if Tyrese Maxey is out. I'm happy to get to Kelly Oubre, but he's not a guy that I'm building around by any means. I'm going to hit Opto, and I'm going to look through my lines. And if one I really like has Kelly Oubre in it, I'm not going to replace him in the lineup. He's just a guy that's kind of there. Sar Thompson, just too expensive for the minutes he's playing. Now, I like him over on DK where they reasonably price him, but I can't get to him when he played 17 minutes last game, guys. 17 minutes. He's such a good basketball player. It kills my soul seeing his minutes, man. It does. I want to see this guy play more. Oh yeah, I actually have an autographed Killian Hayes card. I like him as a player. I do. Below Colby, I have no interest in today. Played 35 minutes against Orlando, only dropped 20 fantasy points. Orlando's a tougher matchup than Brooklyn, but I'm just not there. There's too many other places we can go today, like Keontae George, who's cheaper. I do see he had 5 fouls. I do see he had 5 fouls. But regardless of his 5 fouls, you're almost never going to get 30 minutes. I don't think he has played. Yeah, he did. January 25th, he played 30 minutes. But Thompson, I love him. I do. I love him. I just cannot get there when he's playing those minutes at 6,600. Talked about Keontae. Christian Braun, what happened to my boy? What happened to him? Last 2 games, he has not even gotten close to value. 17 and 21 fantasy points over his last 2. He is just, at this point, a 150 max play for me. I'm only getting him 5% of lineups. Kamara, I love Kamara today, taking on a bad Utah squad. He's only pulling 8% ownership. I got my ownership set at 25. Kamara has turned it up over his last 2 games against the Lakers and the Hornets. 45 and 48 fantasy points, playing 38 and 28 minutes. 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, a steal, and 20 points last game, 19 points the game before that against LA. Kamara has came to play after the All-Star break, and I'm on him. I really like playing some Kamara today. Karis LeVert, have no interest in Karis today. He's playing good minutes. He's just not doing much with them. Keon Johnson. I like Keon Johnson today. I think he is a good basketball player on a bad basketball team. He has upside. Last game against Philly, 31 minutes, 33 fantasy points. Don't mind Keon at 5,700 today just to fill your lineup out. Not interested in Benedict Mathurin today. Quentin Grimes, I like a lot, but the public does too. He's pulling 37% ownership. I want to eat that chalk though. If Maxey is out, I think it's going to be the Grimes show. If Maxey is in, I think Grimes is the number 2 guy on this team, which is wild to say when Paul George and Kelly Oubre are standing there, but they just have not shown up lately. Since Paul George injured his hand or finger, whatever it was, his DFS play and his real play too have been atrocious. I think that injury is absolutely still lingering and hampering him, and Kelly Oubre is Kelly Oubre. Love Quentin Grimes today. Chris Middleton, I have zero interest in. I never play Chris Middleton at all because, like Asar Thompson, he just, if it's his minutes, that's the issue. Shadon Sharp, just a 150 max guy for me. No interest in Nimhard. Malik Beasley, 150 max guy for me. You know how it is with Malik. If his shot's falling, you're going to have a good day. If his shot's not hitting, you're probably going to have a bad day. No interest in Terry Rozier. He bet his unders tonight, so don't play him. No interest in Nick Smith. Talked about Chris Dunn. Not really interested in Nikhil Alexander Walker. No interest in Casey Wallace. Keon Ellis in a 150 max. I don't mind it. No interest in Jaime Jaquez. Bogdanovich, I see the public is getting on him. He's at 12% right now. I'm not on the Bogdanovich train. He's looked terrible this entire year. I will have him in a 150 max, but that is it. That is it. Lou Dort's playable. No interest in Julian Strother. No interest in Hardaway. No interest in pretty much anyone down through here. You can play some V if you want to, but be cautious he may not even play because I thought he was going to play against Houston on the 22nd and he didn't even step on the court. And you can play Beauchamp if you want a punt play. Move it over to small forward. I meant to take Duncan Robinson out. There we go. Moving over to small forward, we've talked about Ant. We got Maxey in. So Maxey being in, he's going to look like a great play. I'm totally okay with playing Maxey now, guys. Aaron Gordon is in, and Jamal Murray is also in. Let me go ahead and put Maxey back in before I forget. All right, small forward. Talked about Ant. Miles Bridges, I really like Miles Bridges taking on Sacramento today. They rank 29th against the position. He's only pulling 5% ownership. I want to increase my exposure too. Um, Miles Bridges has shown up since the All-Star break. Over his last 5 games, he's averaging 1.40 fantasy points per minute. Now, he only played 23 minutes in their last game, still got you 32 fantasy points. Miles Bridges, I really like some Miles Bridges today. I want to be on him. Jalen Williams, he's fine. He's only pulling 2% owned. Nothing's really jumping off the page as like, hey, this is a home run play, but nothing is saying he's a bad play at all either. I would much prefer to get the Miles Bridges. It's only $300 more, but if you can't and you want to rock Jalen, he's fine. No interest in DeMar DeRozan. Paul George, if you land on Paul George, I get it. He's only he does 28% owned, so the public is on him. I prefer to just fade it personally. I really do. He has not really exceeded value how you want to see since January 15th. So, yeah. Think of the single entry Zubac Net Center. I don't mind it. I like Denny. Denny is fine today. Don't mind him. He's only pulling 1% ownership. Denny, it's really dependent on his minutes. If Denny gets the minutes, he could look amazing. But he'll randomly get 23 minutes like last game against Charlotte. He was having a great game. Only 2 fouls, shooting 6 for 10, and he gets 23 minutes. Cam Johnson, he has huge upside. Love Cam Johnson the way this team is built right now because he's going to be the main usage guy. I do think his price is a little too expensive though, but the matchup is a good one, and he's only pulling 30% ownership. Michael Porter Jr., he just hasn't looked that good since the All-Star break, so I'm going to keep fading until we see something out of him. Kelly Oubre, we talked about. Andrew Wiggins, I like playing Hero today, guys. I like playing Hero over Wiggins, but if you can't afford Hero and you still want a piece of this Heat team, I like Andrew Wiggins today. I really do. He's playing monster minutes, 42 and 40 minutes over their last 2 games. He's shown to be a significant part of this team since he's been traded. Happy to play Wiggins today. Jaden McDaniels, I like Jaden McDaniels even at this price. I really do. Since Gobert has been out, he's been playing, and Gobert and what's-his-name's been out, he's been playing huge minutes. 39, 37, 42, 40 minutes. Jaden McDaniels, I'm happy to see him in my lineup. Tobias Harris, he's solid. I don't mind Tobias today. You want a piece of the Pistons, I think Tobias Harris is who you're going to look to. You're not going to want to spend 10 plus K on Cade. Probably don't want to rock Duran today when you got better center options. I think Harris just makes the most sense at 6,300, and I don't mind him. Talked about most of these guys. No interest in Keegan Murray. Talked about Keegan. Not really interested in Jeremy Grant that much. If you land on him in a 150 max, then sure, he's fine. I will have him in 150 maxes myself, but I'm just not getting there in a single entry. Talked about most of these guys through here already. Keyshawn George, just a 150 max guy. Buzelis, 150 max guy. Ziaire Williams. I like Z as long as he's still starting. He's playing great minutes, 31 and 30 over his last 2 games. He's just not been that productive, but this is a good matchup against the Wizards. Risher, I don't know what to do with him. I really don't. He's playing great basketball. Last game he played 31 minutes, dropped 43 fantasy points. The game before that he only played 24 minutes. But yet he dropped 32 fantasy points while shooting 4 for 15. If he's going to get 30 plus minutes, I'm happy to play him. But if he's not, it's kind of like rolling the dice. Wiggins, 150 max guy, no interest in Jaquez. Kispert, no interest. Talked about Dort, no interest in Caruso, no interest in Strother. Champagne, no interest. Derrick Jones is fine. I don't mind getting the Derek Jones today if you need a value piece. No interest in Tim Hardaway or Naismith. Kevin Herter, I don't mind as a punt piece. Played 30 minutes last game out. Didn't do very well at 25 fantasy points, but he exceeded value because it was only 3.8K. Don't like Kevin Herter's game, but if he's going to play 30 plus minutes, I will be playing him. Bryce Sensabaugh, I like Bryce. He's going to be a solid value piece today. Now, with that said, he has performed very poorly as of late. 0.66 fantasy points per minute over his last 5 games. That is horrible. But he should have to play big minutes today. He is pulling 28% ownership, though. Jalen Wilson's just a 150 max guy. Amir Coffey, I like a lot. Coffey is probably my 4th favorite Clipper tonight. I like a lot of Clippers tonight. He's behind Harden, Zubac, and Dunn, but I do really like some Amir Coffey. And he's pulling no ownership right now. He's 3% owned. Sign me up for the Amir Coffey train. Julian Phillips, 150 max guy. Tyrese Martin, 150 max guy. No interest in Tijani, Lonnie Walker. Johnny Juzang, 150 max guy for me. Cody Williams, 150 max. And there's nothing else I'm interested in down through here, I don't believe. No, there's not. Let's move it over to power forward. Feel like I'm running behind in the show. Being slow. Sabonis, absolutely fine today. I'm not going out of my way to target Sabonis, but I'm happy to see him fall into my lineup. So, taking on Charlotte, they rank 29th against the position. Sabonis is dominant. He's pulling 17% ownership, but I see why. Not interested in Bam Adebayo. Naj Reid, I hate the matchup, but I do like Naj. He's been playing huge minutes, has exceeded value in 3 straight games, playing 38, 34, and 40 minutes. Over his last 5 games, he's averaging 1.25 fantasy points per minute. Really like targeting some Naj Reid today. Pascal Siakam, I'm not there. He's only pulling 4% ownership, though, so, I mean, if you want to look at that. Talked about pretty much all of these guys. Okongwu's playable today. Not going out of my way to get him, but he lands in a couple of my lineups. I'm fine with it. Talked about most of these guys. I like Aaron Gordon as a get different play. Only pulling 8% ownership. Starting to look like his old self. Last 2 games, he's dropped 29 and 35 fantasy points. Playing 32 and 35 minutes. So, happy to see Aaron Gordon is starting to look like who he should be out there on the court. Don't mind him. I think Yabasule is intriguing today. No Embiid out there. I do not mind Yabasule as long as he's starting. And he's got the power forward eligible. Well, he's just power forward eligible on FanDuel. Not really interested in Obi Toppin, just a 150 max guy for me. Kyle Filipowski will be a cornerstone of my lineups today. Now, he is chalk at 39%, but I do not mind him. I do not mind Kyle Filipowski today. Should get all the minutes he can handle. Is what it is. Niang. You guys know I like roster Niang, and he's been playing some good minutes lately. 34, 26, and 36 minutes. If you're telling me I'm going to get 30 plus minutes from a $4,500 power forward, I'm going to say sign me up. I like Niang today. I think he's getting a bit overlooked. Trendon Watford, 13% owned right now. I'm not excited about playing Trendon Watford by any means, but he's ticking all the boxes. 1.11 fantasy point per minute over his last 5 games. Played 24, 21, and 24 minutes over his last 3, but he's very productive in those minutes. I'm not excited about Trendon, but I understand why he's grading out so well. Talked about Derek Jones. Jabari Walker is probably my favorite big GPP punt. No Robert Williams, no Ayton. He's going to have to back up Klingon. And he's productive when he's on the court. Over his last 5 games, 1.50 fantasy points per minute. Last game out, he played 26 minutes and dropped 46 fantasy points. Really like Jabari Walker. He's only pulling 2% ownership. Sign me up. Isaiah Stewart, he's fine. Not interested in Jalen Wilson, Muhammad Guy, or Zeke Najee. I'm just not interested. KJ Martin, I expect him to start again today. Don't mind him. I don't mind KJ. Played 29 minutes last game against Houston when he started. Only dropped 17 fantasy points. I think he can do a little better than that today. Vukovic, not that interested in, but he should play the backup center minutes today, so he's worth a punt. Not that interested in Zach Collins. No interest in Kyle Anderson, Trey Lyles, Kenrich, Potter, Laravia, Walker, Dang, or Gill. I have no interest in. I will say Potter, if he's randomly thrown into the starting lineup, he will be playable. Moving over to center, Joker looks awesome. He was a core piece for me yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Day before. And done nothing. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. He played 35 minutes and only had 40 fantasy points. Absolutely killed my lineups. If you tailed me, I apologize for Joker pooping on us. But I don't mind the matchup against Indiana, ranking 21st against the center. Should be a decent little game. And I think with all the value we got today, he's easily playable. Zubac, he's looking good. I know you guys have heard me talk a lot about the Clippers today, but I just can't get away from them. They're going to be in a lot of my lineups. Clippers, 76ers, and Utah. That is the three main teams I'm targeting today. But Zubac's taking on Detroit. No Kawhi, no Norm Powell. It's going to just mean more opportunities for Zubac. Over his last 5 games, he's averaging 1.35 fantasy points per minute. And the matchup's just so-so. Pistons ranking 13th against center. It's just about the usage, guys. On the flip side, Jalen Duren, I'm not really getting there. The Clippers ranked second against center, so I'm just fading Duren today. Hartenstein, absolutely playable today. Chet's not going to be out there. Taking on Minnesota is a tough task. They rank third against the center, but he's going to have to play all those big man minutes in the center. Talked about Okongwu. Nick Claxton. I normally hate playing Nick Claxton, but I can't fade him today. I'm going to have a lot of Claxton. He's taking on Washington. They rank 28th against the center. He's only pulling 9% ownership, and he has been on his game lately. Over his last 5, he's averaging 1.32 fantasy points per minute. He's just doing great lately. But more importantly for me is to see that he's playing 30-plus minutes a night again, finally. 32, 28, 36 over his last 3 games. Miles Turner, he's grading out fine for me, but I don't really want to play Miles Turner today. If you get to him, he's fine, though. I look over and see 8 says it's Miles Turner day. Donovan Clingan, he's fine today. Matchup is fine. Just not there. I'm not really paying down at center today too much. Claxton's probably as cheap as I'm going to go today. No interest in Nurk. Khalil Ware, just a 150 guy for me. Andre Drummond, if he starts, absolutely viable. Feel like they're going to start Yabasule, though. Yeah, that's what Line Star thinks, too. Clint Capella, no interest. Diabate, no interest. Thomas Bryant, no interest. Dayron Sharp, only in 150 maxes. Talked about all these guys. Rashawn Holmes is playable at 4,300. I forgot about Rashawn when I said that's as cheap as I'm going to go. He's definitely playable. He's only pulling, looks like, 9% ownership right now. I think that's going to go up quite a bit as people are building, but I don't mind Holmes. No interest in Jovel. Jalen Williams, 150 max would be it. Luke Garza, 150 max would be it. And that's really all I got for FanDuel. Let's look over on DK. I'm just going to breeze through it. I'm running a little late. James Harden, he's automatic. I'm going to have him in all my DK lineups today. Jamal Murray looks very solid at 7,700. Happy to rock him. Tyler Hero, I told you I liked him on FanDuel. Still love him on DK. I want a lot of him over here as well. Keontae George, looking like value city at 6,500. I'm happy to pay that for him. We'll definitely be under the field on Fernie Simons. Tyrese Maxey, of course, looks great now, taking on a terrible Chicago team. I'm happy to play Maxey. Halliburton, he's fine. Keon Johnson at 5,500, very solid play there. Josh Giddey, I told you guys I like him on FanDuel. I like him over on DK too at that price. Trae Young's fine. Collier 6,200, I will happily pay it for him today. Chris Dunn, solid value play at 4,500 in my opinion. Really like him. SGA, he's fine. I'm not going to tell you to take him out of your player pool. Same with Anthony Edwards, but I'm not going out of the way to get him. Scoot, I'll pass. Really everyone down through here is a pass for me. Two guard Quentin Grimes still looks amazing. Happy to roster him over here. Amir Coffey at only 4K should be a lock in my opinion. I love Coffey today for a value. Dyson Daniels at 6,900 feels very cheap. Happy to play that. Kelly Oubre is much more playable in DK at the $5,500 price tag. I'll happily pay that for Kelly. Not really interested in Naismith, but at 3,900, if you need a cheap last guy in, he's fine. Not interested in Braun. Not interested in Zaire Williams at 5K. Kamara I like a lot at 5,600. I really like Kamara at 5,600 over here. Kevin Huerter at 3,600 is playable as well. Small forward, why is Wiggins projecting so well? Small forward kind of sucks. I don't like much at small forward. I think it's plug Amir Coffey and Kelly Oubre in kind of day. Jalen Williams at 7,800. I could definitely rock with that. Andrew Wiggins and Jaden McDaniels are fine. Lasar Thompson at 5,600. Absolutely playable. That's really it. Over at power forward, I like him on FanDuel. Of course, I'm going to like him over here. Niang at $4,300. Very cheap. Happy to roster him today over on DK. Not interested in Nobi. Yabasule, as long as he's starting, 4,900. Far too cheap for him. Happy to play him. Tobias Harris is fine. Watford, 4,700. I can't get there. Not in a single entry, at least. Then at center, Kyle Filipowski is going to be your guy today. Chalk City, though, 37% owned. I'll still be playing him. Though, honestly. Dayron Sharp is fine. Zubac looks great. Happy to play him. Joker, it's just one of those days where I'm going to lock in Joker because I got enough value to do it today, guys. Nick Claxton looks like a home run at 5,900. Happy to play him. Rashawn Holmes at 4,900 looks great. Happy to play him. Okongwu's fine. Miles Turner's fine. If Vukovic is ruled out, Jalen Smith is going to look terrific. Thought we got news, but it was just a text. So that's all I got. Got about 30 minutes before lock. Let me know any of your questions. I am just a free resource here for you guys. If you got questions, hit me with them. That is what I am here for. I want to help you guys win some money today. So open another tab, start building your lineups, and if you got questions, pop back in and ask me. What's up, Father? Watford or Walker? Uh, Depends on how risky you want to be in your lineup, Shannon. Watford is a lot safer, but Walker has a huge upside. Is Jalen Smith already ruled out? I didn't. Did I miss that news? Oh, I guess he is. Never mind about Jalen Smith. Then it would be Zach Collins that looks good. They might run Buzelis out there, but I don't think Buzelis has the size to play the center. They would be running Zach Collins, in my opinion, if he's ruled out. Oubre or McDaniels? I like. Damn, that's close. I like them both, honestly. If it was me playing personally, it'd be McDaniels. Just to get off that Oubre ownership. Dunn, Grimes, Kamara, Yabu, Joker, Maxi, Bryce Sensabaugh, and Killian. I think that's absolutely fine, Kyle. I would rock that for sure. Hey, Line Star's in here. What's up, guys? So Vooch was listed out, huh? Thank you for letting us know. With Vooch out, that's going to make Collins look pretty darn good, guys. I believe they start Collins. Line Star will update their projected starting lineup soon. But while we wait on that, we got the Sixers starting lineup. They're going to start Maxi, Grimes, Oubre, Paul George, and Yabusele. So, who they told us. I appreciate you letting us know, Line Star. And the Nets starting Hayes, Keon Johnson, Cam Johnson, Williams, and Claxton. Nuggets starting Murray, Braun, Porter Jr., Gordon, and Joker. And the Clippers are gonna roll Nicholas Batum out of the retirement home. So Clippers starting Harden, Dunn, Bogdanovich, Batum, Zubac. Well, alrighty then. That's certainly a starting lineup. That's gonna make Coffee and Jones look like crap. Jalen Clark ruled in. Pistons starting Cunningham, Hardaway, Thompson, Harris, Duran. It's just who we thought they were going to start. But, man, I really got to put Nick Batum back in my player pool. I don't want to. But at 3,700, this is nasty. I don't want Nick Batum. Look at Line Star. They're on it, boys. Zach Collins. I think so, Don. That's the way I'm personally playing DK myself. That's the way I'm playing it. And Zach Collins gonna look amazing now, guys. I think you're gonna want to be on the Zach Collins train today. Let's see. What was I doing? Mere Coffee. I'm gonna have to move his projection down now. Probably, as much as I hate to, I'm gonna have to move Bogdanovich's projection up. Derek Jones. Probably just leave that where it's at. Golly, man. Why are they starting Batum? Why don't they do that to me? We got some more news coming in. What do we got here? Fred VanVleet, that's for tomorrow. You guys got questions? Hit me with them. That is what I'm here for, gentlemen. Yeah. Batum is playable. That hurts my heart. Do we get that news? Yep, Bulls starting Giddy, White, Ball, Buzelis, and Collins. Wizards starting Poole, Bilal Calabi, Chris Middleton, George, and Holmes. Oh, I'm not Big Star, brother. Jabari Walker, Niang, or Sensabaugh. Really depends on how you're building Kyle and what you need. I think Jabari Walker has huge upside, but he is very risky. So I like Walker, but you got to understand he's risky. I think Niang provides a bit of in the middle between safe and upside. I like Niang as the middle option today. And Sensabaugh is your safer pick. He's going to get plenty of minutes today, but I don't think his upside's huge. So if it's me, it's Walker because I build to win tournaments. I don't build to just cash. Would I play Dunn and Harden in the same line on FanDuel? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to have a ton of lineups today that has both of them. I hope Tyler Hero gets overlooked today. I love Tyler Hero today. Alright, I just published the FanDuel core. I'm working on the DK core now. Yeah, Niang, as long as Niang gets the minutes, which he should, as long as Muhammad Guy and Clint Capella don't try to burst into the pitcher. I think Zach Collins is pretty much a must play now on DK. As crazy as that sounds, like nobody's ever really like a 100% must play, but come on, $3,300 for the only starting big man on the team. Like, you know what I'm saying. Harden or Maxey? For me, it's still Harden. It's still Harden for me. I like Maxey, but it's still going to be Harden for me. Would I play Sensible or Batum on FanDuel? Sensible. If I'm picking between those two, it is Brass Sensible. What kind of news we get? Pacers starting Halliburton, Nembhard, Naismith, Siakam, and Turner. So, heads up, that's who the Pacers will be running tonight. I think Alonzo Ball is intriguing starting. I don't mind that, Don. I don't mind that, brother. Down and winning money. That's all I want to see. Is the stream doing okay for you guys? It's popping up for me saying there's an error. I just want to make sure there's not. Yang Sensible or Jabari Walker on DK. Kind of the same thing as was asked earlier by Kyle Power. I would pick Jabari Walker because I think he has the highest upside, but he is the riskiest piece. He is very risky. Niang, he's kind of the middleman. He's safe, but provides a bit of an upside too. And Sensible, he's going to get the most minutes more than likely of those three guys, so he is the safe pick. Any questions, guys? That's what I'm here for. Let's take one down and win it all today, shall we? Harden, Ball, Grimes, Oubre. I mean, if you believe in LaMelo tonight, then that's a solid line. I'm not really on LaMelo tonight myself, but like I said, if you like LaMelo tonight, that's a good line. Have a great night, buddy. Oh, Lonzo. Then yeah, I like that. I like Lonzo tonight. Hey, that's what's up, Power. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but at the top of the show, I was talking like we ate this weekend in NASCAR in the premium chat. Like we ate. NASCAR was good to me this weekend. I correctly predicted 2 of the 3 winners of the races this weekend, so that made me feel pretty good too. The only one I got wrong is I picked Joey Logano to win the Cup race, and that obviously did not happen. But it was still a fun race to watch. 9 minutes, guys. 9 minutes. You got questions? Let me know. Aid, I just know you're running the most diabolical lineup. Did you end up running Beauchamp? I play PGA, but I just play PGA like recreationally. Like I don't do write ups or anything for PGA. And I don't take it like super serious. PGA and NHL are like the two that I love to play, and I do like research them, but I'm keeping them like out of my business side because they're the last two that's like fun for me to play. If that makes sense. It doesn't feel like it's a job researching them and the whole 9 yards. Let's look at some ownership, boys. Bryce Sensabaugh, Zach Collins, Kyle Filipowski, three most owned right now. I will say I do like the ownership discount you're getting on Maxi right now. If you wanted to play Maxi compared to Harden, I still like Harden straight up more. The ownership discount is huge. Guys, if you play NHL, I highly recommend checking out Line Star. They got you covered, like everything NHL wise. And then the Opto, what I like to do in the Opto is I use the. You can set the max line you want them to be on and the max power play line you want them to be on. Love that. Love that. The Oubre ownership is criminal. Nobody believes in Oubre. Now, I don't think he's going to be 1.4% owned. I think that's way too low for Oubre today, but anytime you put your money on the Los Angeles Kings, you are taking a risk, my brother. That's insane power. I like Dunn a lot more than I like Lonzo Ball today, Dunn. Did I not even post that we were live on X? I think I forgot. Oops. I'm pretty sure I forgot when we started. Let's look at some DK ownership. Zach Collins, James Harden, Sensabaugh, and Oubre, 30.8% over on DK. Well, they do look a lot better than they have in the seasons past. I know what it's like to be a fan of a losing NHL team, considering I'm a Nashville Predators fan. It was supposed to be a wonderful year for us. We got Stamkos. It's going to be great. Yeah. Yeah. You know how hard my life as a sports fan in general is? I'm a Predators fan. I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. I'm a Memphis Grizzlies fan. It is rough. It is rough. At least my hometown UFL team's good. The Birmingham team. Good luck, everybody. I hope to see one of you guys taken down tonight. If you got any questions, hit me in the Discord. You know I'm always available on there. Anytime you need help, just at me. And yeah, so that's it, guys. Have a wonderful night. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. We do these shows every night. And I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night.